Hi everyone, I'm Callam Bartlett. I'm the creator of Flatland. I thought I'd do a quick behind the scenes video of me designing one of the characters, and after the time lapse actually I'll show you a snippet of what's to come in the next episode, because it's taken me fucking ages doing mine in a bit. But yeah, thanks for your support as well. We're getting there. Takes me about a month to do a minute of footage, but I'm getting quicker. So yeah, cheers. Alright, the Illuminated Manuscript that I'm using for this character is the Peasants' Revolt in Montpellier from 1379. So this page comes from the Chronicles of Saint Denis, and it depicts two high officers of the Duke of Anjou who are getting killed by the peasants. And yeah, one of the armed peasants I used for the guard character, which was one of the early characters I did actually. But yeah, I've gone back to this page, and I'm going to take the geezer on the left, the fruity one, and he's going to become Lord Faggins. My first move is just resizing it for the close-up and then do a rough cut. The reason why I start with a close-up is because I did start designing the full body when I was rigging animations, and then when it comes to doing close-up shots and you blow the image up, obviously it gets all pixelated, so it seems better to work backwards and then worry about the body and side profile, back profile and all of that. So I start with a rough cut and then go in a bit closer, but still not that precise. And then I go to effects and choose either stamp or torn edges, just to get a general stencil. Like if I was doing a collage, then I'd make that detail look better, but I don't need to now, I just need the general shape. Now I'm just putting a little egghead on him. Fucked up that eye placement. I was way off. But yeah, already starting to get the shape of what my character's going to look like, and all those other details I used to keep when I do the designs, but the problem with that is because I need such a quick turnaround with my animation and my drawings, I've got to keep it simple. Because when it comes to doing different angles and all those other bits, replicating those details is just too time consuming, so the simpler the better. Out the rough. You can see that I'm not really like being too careful with what I'm cutting out or the order of things, because I've designed so many characters now, you just know that it develops, and there's some things that you could fret about and then 20 minutes later you get rid of it anyway, so just try and sort of rush forward with the shape and the main outline of the character is what I usually do. Now I'm going to chop the beard out as well, because again, it's got details on it that you'd want to keep, really, ideally, but not if you're going to be chopping it about and making it move and all of that. You just got to keep it simple. In this next episode that I've got coming up, I think I've designed about 15 new characters, so yeah, most of my time's been spent just rigging them, getting them all working, and I haven't even started churning the frames out yet, because that's taken me so long doing all the backgrounds and all of that. But when you choose cut out animation, the appeal is that you only have to draw things once, and then you could just drop it in and fuck about with the mouths and the eyes and stuff like that, but you've got that base to just keep dropping in each frame that you need them. There you go, I've just done the beard. I'm going to be redoing that later as well because I fucked it up.
This is the result of 3 years' hard work.
Sorting out the hat. Again, it's got details on it, that symbol. I quite like that rose on the front, but I'm not going to keep it. And that tool where I'm putting lines over it is the stroke tool, and I use that a lot, just to get the general shape of things, and it's a godsend really. Because the design that I choose is thick black lines, and that's not even to replicate the Illuminated manuscripts, which obviously I love. Because they always use bold colours, thick black lines, but I've just always favoured that. In fact, I used to do that in art class at school, and people used to rip the piss out of me, but you can't let them win. No, they were probably right, actually. So these torso bits are really just so I have an idea of what it's going to look like on the full body design, which I won't show on this. I'll do that on the Patreon. But this is just so I have a frame of reference later for what it's going to look like when I copy that in and fill out the rest of the body and get the arms and legs rigged and all of that. You want to get that shape nailed now so it all makes sense when it comes to that bit. That's just me obviously deciding on the colours there. I didn't really go in with a plan. I have drawn this character before in an early version of Flatland when I first started, and he was called Lord Faggins then as well, but I've had to update so many of those old designs because they're just not up to scratch, and if you think this is shit, this drawing, fuck me. It used to be really shoddy and blurry and I did animation when I was at college, but I don't know, I've never been one to sit and like be taught how to do those things. I just sort of find my own way of doing it, and it's probably very time consuming doing it that way. But obviously I enjoy it, and I've figured out a way of getting better. Now I'm going to sort the beard out because it's too scraggly. Make it a bit more devilish. Because he is going to be a bastard. Here's that stroke tool again, just really handy for stuff like this as well when you're filling in gaps. You can just decide the shape of it as you're using the brush, and then just rasterize it and get rid of any of the excess that's still sitting there. And then you've got your shape. I do use Illustrator as well. If I need to vectorize an image, I just use image trace, drag it in there and sharpen it up. And I'll probably end up doing it with this character at some point as well if I need like an extreme close-up. It's really handy, that tool actually. And then I just expand it, get rid of the white and drag it in and then recolor it that way. But if you start, well, personally, if I start with the close-up, it's usually quite good quality anyway, because I'm redrawing bits, painting over bits and stuff, and just generally sharpening it up. Alright, now we're going into the final colouring. You probably can't see at the side because it's a bit blurry on the screen grab, but I'm quite organised with my layers because I'd rather create loads of layers and then merge them down and keep track of them that way. Because obviously if you're dragging in a character that's a group of layers and you've already got shitloads of layers within that frame, whether it be in the background or if they're interacting with something, then my computer just starts struggling. So I've got to organise that and keep the layers down to a minimum and just keep the head, the torso, the eyes and mouth separate and then merge the others. So the only problem is when you eventually then design the side profile and the back profile and the different hand gestures, arm movements and stuff like that, then they do start totting up the layers. So it might be worth just keeping them separate if you've got a really slow computer, but eventually I've just got to be organised. Right, so we're dropping in the mouths now. Obviously I use the same mouths for pretty much every character. These are the only relics actually from the early animation that I did. One of the first things that I drew. It's obviously no secret that my main influences are Monty Python, especially Terry Gilliam's animations in that, but also South Park. South Park still use the cutout style. They don't physically cut it out, they obviously do it all digitally. It's an amazing documentary, 6 Days to Air. If you've ever seen that, you'll know that they just get Macs off of the shelf, and all their animators just design on that. So, and really, as soon as I found that out, I realised it was feasible. But the main animation that I saw was recommended to me from one of my mates, Sam Curtis, and it's The Big Les Show on YouTube, which is so fucking funny. But it was the documentary that Jared Wright did on that, where he was showing the fact that he did it on a little shitty school laptop with a trackpad, and did all the drawings on Microsoft Paint. And I just thought, oh, I've got no fucking excuse now. Like, if he can do it on that. Yeah, Python and South Park are the main inspiration. But The Big Les Show made me realise that I could actually feasibly do it on my own. So yeah, that's the end of it. That's the end of the time lapse. And now I'll show you a little test animation of him moving. Please like and subscribe as well on this channel. It's free to do, helps me massively. I'm really trying to grow this channel and get an audience behind it, so I should have the minisode up within the next few weeks, if all goes well. And yeah, take care.